Actor Observer Bias. Hi, welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I have this show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, so we can make better decisions, build better relationships, and sometimes avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, we're going to be talking about actor-observer bias. What exactly is that? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever walked down the street, you tripped, and you go, oh man, I tripped. It must be that crack on the floor, or it must be this, must be that, must be this. So you're telling yourself it's all these other reasons because of why you tripped. Now, fast forward a few days later, you see somebody else trip and you go, oh, that person must be kind of clumsy or not very fit or just not very situationally aware. Well, that is actor-observer bias. This is where you have a tendency to attribute one's actions to an external cause while attributing others' actions to an internal cause. That's because we're the actor in our own situation. Once it's something happening to us, we actually attribute everything else to external things. We're saying, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, or it's because of that, or because of this. So that's what we feel because we know exactly what's going on with us. We don't attribute that fault, we don't attribute that success to us personally. We would then say it's everything else and it's because of everything else. For another example, for instance, if we're driving in a parking lot and we're looking for a space, we find a space, we get into that space and goes, I must be a great driver. I must be great at finding good spaces. I must be great at looking for great opportunities. And that's why I got this space. Whereas if you're driving around and somebody else takes the space before you, you go, oh man, that person's a jerk. They stole my spot. How can they do this to me? Blah, 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 blah. And you attribute them for their personality, for who they are, even though if you know nothing about them. Same case scenario. Let's say if a doctor says to you, you know what? You're kind of overweight right now. And then first of all, you jump out and go, hey, wait a minute. I'm this way because, well, I've been under a lot of stress lately. There's been a lot of work lately. There's so much pressures on me and I just have to eat to make myself feel comfortable. And you're giving all these reasons why you overate or why you're overweight and why you're over this, and this. You're giving them justification. You're saying all these situational things and so that you can defend yourself as to why your certain actions are being taken. Whereas if the doctor says, hey, this person's overweight, and you go, oh, that person must be a little bit lazy, they must not be very driven, or they don't have really good willpower. You attribute their faults to their personality and who they are, even if you don't have nothing to do with them, you don't know who they are, or what they do, or what they're going through. So that is actor-observer bias. So how do we kind of avoid this? Well, first of all, sometimes you have to put yourself into their shoes. What would you be thinking if you were in their shoes? Is it really them or is it the situation? More likely than not, it's going to be a combination of both. Because in your own situation, sometimes it's your own fault or sometimes it's your personality as well. But most of the time, you kind of justify it with all this situational stuff. When it comes to the actor, we're very situational. When it comes as the observer, we're very dispositional. So that's what we have to do. We have to take a step back, assess it from a third person point of view, even when it's ourselves as well. So that's how we could avoid the actor-observer bias. Hopefully you understand what that is now and you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking the Mind. And if you enjoyed Unlocking the Mind episodes, then please go and watch some of my other shows, the Peak Potential Success Show, the Make More Mind Bites, and of course, the Mastermind Bites that's up every single week. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. Thank you very much for your subscriptions, your likes, your comments. I love seeing those comments. See you later.